85% of people prefer text over email and phone calls because they want to engage in a conversation. All text messaging is not equal. Customers respond to people, not bots. Be more like people and start having conversations that end in conversions. Use Scipio.
You're listening to Steal This Idea, the only podcast that saw mommy kissing Santa Claus.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Steal.
Lie.
We're gonna steal the ship.
Commandeer, Lord Lieutenant.
An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks.
For someone like you to steal?
Ideas are bulletproof.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Steal this idea.
It's the end of the year, Andre.
I know. We're here. The end of the decade, actually.
That's true.
Wow.
20.
Do you have like feelings about the 2010s?
Well, I'm excited to say like, oh, we're in the 20s.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's been this weird, awkward, like, what is the...
What are we?
The 2010s just doesn't really...
Yeah.
Early 2000s. We're in the 20s.
We're in the 20s.
The modern 20s.
Yeah. Do you want to know something goofy that I was thinking about? Is that 2020 is a uniquely good year for like New Year's glasses. Because you know how like every year there are like glasses for the year, the new year. And
it's always like awkward.
Yeah, it's like for the eyes specifically, because
totally.
the eyes have to be part of it. So it's like 2019, like you had a little guy that went down. But
Perfect.
2020, 2-0.
That is
the perfect year for New Year's glasses.
That one company's like, this is it.
This is it.
This is our year.
This is our year.
I guess we'll start officially.
Should we?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Hello again, thieves.
We're back.
It is almost 2020. We are relishing in the year that is 2019.
Yes.
This is gonna be a fun episode. I got a great idea. We're gonna do a little retrospective on some of the Steal This Idea ideas, as well as maybe a little pop culture.
Oh yeah.
Things around the world.
We've got stuff to talk about.
Lots of stuff to talk about. If you're new to the show, Steal This Idea, me and Andre, basically we were giving out $1 million, if not $1 billion business ideas.
Couple billies in there.
Couple billies in there, and we encourage you, the listener, to steal them, to run with them. These are ideas that if we weren't just tied down to our desk jobs, we probably would have started these and become super rich and famous. But unfortunately, we're in contract
Got
with
this whole other stuff.
got this whole other stuff going on.
Exactly.
And yeah, so this is for you. Please steal them. Just cut us a check if you come rich off one of these ideas.
Exactly.
But before we get into my big idea, let's start off with a little good idea, bad idea.
Oh yeah.
Hit me with your first one here, Andre.
So my first one is spacetimecoordinates.com.
Love it already.
Yeah, and this is one of those sites. I've seen these a couple times throughout the year. But essentially there is this category of products that take a given date. So like your anniversary or the day you met or the day you were married or whatever. And then they convert it to like what the positions in space were of the planets or the stars or something like that. And then they sell it on like some sort of apparel item. This is one of those. And I got to be honest, this is probably the first one that I ever actually kind of liked. So usually what they do, and this site offers them too, but usually it's like a huge poster of like some sort of star constellation. This is just the position of the planets at a given date. And they have like, really low key, like little like necklace type things.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's the solar system, and it kind of shows where the planets are. And it's like this is
it would look attractive if it were just a solar system
only.
It would be attractive enough.
I agree with that.
But the fact that you can make it correspond to like your wedding day, I think is kind of cool.
I definitely like it a lot more. I remember growing up seeing those like purchase a star, and me being like, what is this? This
doesn't make sense.
This doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Some companies just like, yeah, you own this now.
You have it, according to our records.
We'll send you a certificate of ownership.
Yeah.
Like, what? What does that even mean?
I would love to, if you are one of the people that bought into this.
Oh, man.
Like quintessential, I don't know what period of time, like 90s,
early
2000s.
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s.
If you were one of the people that bought into buying a star, I would love for you to write in, because I'm curious, like, what is the rationale? Like, because it's such a lame... It's a lame gift, in my opinion.
It's a weird thing to be like, I got this.
It's yours now. Like, yeah.
Because really, it's just some company. It's like, what if we just tell people?
What if we just have a map of the stars and then we
as
sell
real
them?
estate?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so I definitely like this a lot more than that. I think space-time coordinates is a really dumb name for what this is.
Yes, definitely.
I was expecting some sort of like role-playing game or something, or literally anything other than this. I think the concept is fine, and I think I think people could buy into this of like, oh, like this is
Yeah.
what plans for a line, especially because there is something kind of interesting about the shape and symmetry of all that. Like, sure.
Yeah. Like if you were a person that was into astrology, this would be an interesting gift for you.
I kind of like the shirt with the solar system on it. Like,
Yeah,
just
I don't mind the print or the shirt. I actually don't think that they're lame at all.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind just like a cheap version. Like, I wonder if they could, maybe they already do this, but they sell like important dates in history.
Oh, that'd be cool.
JFK assassination or something like that.
That would be like, this is my, what, you point to the wall. You're like, this is my constellation when JFK was assassinated.
Like,
And your house guests are like, cool. I will say,
I gotta go.
yeah, funny on this site is you can buy the digital file. So I assume like a
print.
So I guess a print that you could then print yourself.
Sure.
And the digital file costs $24.
Ugh.
Isn't that kind of lame?
That's super lame. The digital file should cost at most $5.
Yeah. Like, I think that would be a good way to get me into your whole concept. To be like, oh, this is cool. I like this for $5. And now because I do want the little pendant or the print, I'm going to pay for you guys to do that.
I kind of love that so most websites will have like this like 3-arc structure of like this and this and this. You know, like live, love, laugh type thing. So the 3 points here are like life. As time goes on, we learn to care for the unique special moments we encounter. Yada yada yada. Love. New beginnings. Change is what defines our journey through time and space. It's like the most cheesy.
It's like the most standard marketing playbook ever.
Totally.
Yeah. Anyway, not the worst idea.
Yeah, actually, I would say change the name and work on a better like hook to get me in without paying just like $60.
Agreed.
And I think you're onto something here. Space-time coordinates.
All right.
I have one here.
Yep.
This is another.
Oh my God, Scott.
It is a wearable that helps me boost my focus. It's called Foki, and this looks like it's a almost like a Fitbit, but not the one that you'd wear on your wrist. This like slides into your belt,
waistband.
Yeah. I have no idea how this could do anything other than just like vibrate, and that's it. But this also it's a breathing pattern that tracks some sort of something allegedly.
Scott's kind of stumbling through this, and it's because the site, it's so confusing. Like it's basically there's no explanation at all of what you actually do with it. Like, is it just connected to an app, and it like tells you like you're anxious, calm down, or
tune out visual auditory distractions?
How can this do that though?
Control
You know what I mean?
procrastination and goal focus. Sustain prolonged attention. Get into an effortless deep focus.
Yeah, all it is an app that measures your biometrics and then tells you how you're feeling, basically.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're feeling stressed.
Yeah, I'm looking at the like Indiegogo for it now, and it does vibrate. So it's like if you're losing focus, it'll vibrate to get you to refocus. Because somehow something that clips into your waistband can tell just how focused you are.
Yeah, this seems misleading. Tell me if you think this is a total bait and switch here. So it says 100% funded in 5 hours, which seems like that's interesting.
People must love this.
Right below it says Foki has raised $800,000.
Okay.
So first off, it seems very unlikely that they raised $800,000 in 5 hours. It seems like
No, they were funded for $150,000 in 5 hours.
or 50,000 or 5,000.
Yeah. And then the other 800 is all after that. I can't believe.
800,000 is insane to me.
How much do you think it is per unit? I'm looking at it, so I already know the answer.
It's just a little clip-on thing, right?
Yeah.
My guess would be $50.
$80, $140 if you get there too late.
That's a pre-order.
Crazy.
Yeah, pre-order for
exactly.
80.
I gotta I say this every time we talk about this. If there was a product that I thought would work, 100,000,000% I would buy it.
Totally.
I do not think that something that vibrates when it estimates that I'm distracted, then I'm just distracted by another thing. I'm like, oh, I got stuff vibrating. Like, No way.
I just feel like
I gotta charge it. Like, this just isn't right.
in order for this to actually give an accurate readout, I need those little like wires coming out of my brain.
I need
and,
an
like,
active MRI.
for real, like
This
stuff
to work.
sticking to my temples to be like, I trust this.
Exactly.
You know, like I don't trust this thing that looks like a freaking it looks like a Fitbit. It looks like one of those little.
It could be a pedometer. Like
That's what it looks. It looks like a pedometer. I don't know who's buying into this. I don't know what poor sap shipped in $50K or whatever amount for this, but this just seems like there's no way this will come.
Totally.
Everyone will be disappointed by this.
So fix this idea. Would you be interested in an app that did this? So you put a bracelet on, like a good looking bracelet.
Sure.
And it's connected to your computer, like a Chrome extension.
Yeah.
And you click on your Chrome tab, you hit like focus now. Okay. And then anytime that Chrome senses that you are off task,
The wrist.
shocks. Honestly, shocks.
Oh,
I
so-
don't want to vibrate. I want to shock.
So
And not like a
Yeah,
whoa, but like like a
debilitating.
you're
Like a
on the
tase.
floor.
What'd you learn?
A little buzz that's like, hey, don't do that.
So what you're saying is, I say I want to focus on these two tabs, like on this screen, and if I open up Facebook, if I open up Reddit, enough of that.
Yep.
Not against that.
And because I think so. I have this program right now on my computer called Slash, and what it does, like at the bottom of your screen, you say like your list of things you got to do, and you hit start, and then it goes through each list, and then when you finish it, you click like I'm done, and it shows you like what you're supposed to be working on in the bottom of your screen and how long you've been working on it.
Yeah.
But even with that, it's like I go to Slack, I'm like messaging people, and then it's like, oh, I just got to check this really quick. I'm in my email, like I'm doing other things that aren't the task I'm supposed to be working on right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like every hour, all 8 hours of the workday, you should be in this like 8 hour lock. But when you're saying like
period.
this is a focus time, then the thing tells you like be focused.
Put on the shot collar.
Right?
I'm not
Just to
against
keep you on task.
Well, what would happen is at first it would happen a lot, and then like it would presumably condition you so that you
Are focused.
are. So it's like, hey, I want to focus now,
Yeah.
and like you are much better at like staying in a lane
Totally.
and not like getting on these ADD
Yeah.
streams.
Exactly.
It's really hard for me. My we have an outlet, and recently some outlet guys came to our house as like some feedback.
Okay.
They're like, hey, we're like one of the
The outlet people are like, we'll watch your baby.
watch your baby. He's sleeping. All right.
sleeping.
No, they wanted some feedback on the device and on they have this kind of some new
Yeah.
trading or some new products they're launching. They wanted to kind of get some
Yeah,
feedback.
context for people who don't know what outlet is. It's
Oh,
like a sock you put on your baby, and it says like what their
It tracks their
oxygen
heart
is
rate and their
and-
oxygen. So like if it ever goes to below a certain amount of beeps or whatever. And
Scott's all right. I was just trying to help our
I
listeners.
know now you've
So they come to your house
I know.
and they're there for feedback and what you noticed about your ADD tendencies while they were there.
yes, that's
is-
exactly what. So I'm on my computer and they're like, "Hey, walk through this website because it's this new sleep training thing," and they're like, "Give us feedback, kind of page at a time."
Yeah.
And I go to a page and I kind of give some feedback. And while I'm doing that, I open Slack, I open Twitter, and my wife's looking over me. She's like, "What are you
doing?
What are you doing?"
These
And I'm
guys are
like-
here to watch you.
And I'm like, he's typing my feedback. I'm answering. I'm doing other things. She's like, you're the most ADD person
Yeah.
I've ever met.
And I'm the same way. Like, I think I have really good work focus, and part of that is driven just by like I'm so speed driven. Like I just want to get through every task as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And that allows me to be relatively productive. But I'm like anytime, like when Chrome pages are loading, I'm flipping into my email. Like I just
100%.
and that's toxic. Like that's not how it should be. I need to be like settling down, and maybe a shock bracelet. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. I think I could pitch it just as well as these.
As freaking folky.
Yeah, I really do. I really do
You
think
could get 800 grand, Andre.
I kind of think I could. And I actually don't think the technology behind it would be the most complicated thing in the world.
Do you think if we made a pedometer and we just churched it up and we fancified the language of like track movement velocity and all this stuff and just like pitched it as this like focus thing,
Then it would work.
that we could raise.
And I would be like, what we
$500,000.
would do is we would rebrand like steps, because the pedometer, the critical
Yeah.
function is it count steps. And we would like count it as like PowerPoints. And the PowerPoints are like your focus plus your energy plus your activity. And people are like, in a day where they're more active, they're like, yeah, I was more focused. I was more driven. And then in a day where they're lazier, they're like, wow, like
Wow, your
I want
PowerPoints
that
are
makes sense.
low.
Like I did sit on the couch all day. My PowerPoints were low.
They were super
And it's
low.
literally, it just counts your steps. But people are being fooled by productivity.
I would love some sort of social experiment around
Yes.
this because I think if
That
crap
could be what this is doing, though. Honestly, is they're just feeding the data into an app, and then the app is creating visualizations, and they're like, "Yep,
these
this
are your
is,
biometrics. Here they are. You have no
Crazy.
reason to discount them. You have nothing
No.
to verify.
No.
Anyway, Folky, dumb.
dumb."
Happily,
Yeah, so this is a subscription box for like date night, and we've talked about date night a couple times on the podcast. So I thought this might be kind of interesting. And actually, now that I look a little bit closer, it's like quite a bit more than just a date night thing. It's like they have
it's like a relationship.
the whole relationship platform, including love notes, which is crazy that you're like
It's
getting love notes delivered in a box, like pre-written.
It's like getting thank you notes, but specifically just for your partner.
Yes. Classes. So like you can sit and like learn how to conquer conflict and stuff like that. And then like products like, an indoor camp out kit for having a little s'more party indoors.
Yeah.
And a like thankfulness journal that you can write in, and a mobile app, and like all this stuff.
So
So there is like a date box. They're going to send you a date.
yeah, so I'm trying to get a good sense of like what's like an example of one of their like, here's a date that we've made for you.
So it's kind of like anonymous. So it's like you don't know what you're going to get the way that it is with most.
Totally.
So that's what makes it kind of hard to tell. So the only one that I literally actually couldn't tell you what a single date is.
And that's so I'm looking at the box here, and it looks like it is the size of a dictionary box.
Sure,
you know.
a dictionary box. From you remember the last time you ordered a dictionary? About how big that box was.
I'm just saying the size of a dictionary, like it doesn't look that big, and they all look to be in a box that size. So
This makes it. This is actually kind of a bad website because I'm walking away and I'm like, I just don't know what the dates are. So I'm going to their Instagram now, and their Instagram page is just like quotes about relationships. Not
Yeah.
kidding. It's just like the holidays are when I put on my expensive pants. Wait, that was a typo. Blah blah blah. Like it. Yeah, I don't know what any of the dates are like.
well, this says still not convinced, Andre. Get a free digital date sent directly to your inbox to find out more. Just what we're about.
Yeah, which also, so their mobile app, which is called Datebox Digital, is $7.99. So I see that number and I'm like, oh, per month, and then you get access to all their digital dates. No, $7.99 per date, which seems bizarre to be like, I'm going to pay for a mobile app that has like a game or something to do. And I'm
So
gonna pay
this says
$8 for it.
rom-com bingo as one of the examples.
Hi, lovers. There's nothing like a good old rom-com for date night, but we didn't just want to keep it there. This date is high-stakes rom-com bingo. The stakes: dish duty, laundry patrol, or kid transport for 1 week to the loser. Get your game face on. So I'm sure it's you watch a rom-com, which you could Google rom-com bingo card and get one for free.
Yeah, and do this and not
Can you
spend.
imagine paying $8 to play rom-com bingo?
No, that's not, so. Here's the thing.
I actually brought this as a good idea to the podcast, but now that I'm looking at it,
Well, and this is what I worry about. If it's $8 for this, what I'm getting in the box for $36
has to be
low, like nothing.
yeah, it's going to be like a game.
Yeah, it'll be like
It's going to be rom-com bingo, but it prints out the card for you.
It's gonna be a deck of Uno cards, and it's gonna say, but every time you play a wild, you have to kiss your spouse. You have to say something. What are your fears? It's just like some dumb thing where it's like,
Did I pay $40 for this?
did I really just pay $40 for this?
Versus just Googling like fun games for couples.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're from Happily and you're listening to this, then the solution to Scott and I's criticism is put example dates on the website.
Yeah, give me one of your like good dates.
Because
Right
now I don't know. Like
because I think the freshly box model and the all those foods,
those show you.
They show me exactly what I'm getting. Like that looks like a good meal.
Exactly.
Yeah, that works for me. But like if
It's
this
kind of weird.
it feels it's too like hidden for me to be like I don't. It seems like
it doesn't have to be. They don't have to tell me what's in every box, but you got to tell me
Exactly.
what's in a couple boxes.
even if it's just like you get a game and an activity and a this and a this, like it kind of lists out the 5 or 6 things in the box generally. Like,
Totally.
I'd be much more
Weird.
because I actually do think now that I have 2 kids and it's like really hard to like make time for dating and like get out of the house and like get a babysitter, all this kind of things. So like if I could get a date box that like had like a very thought out activity that had lots of good engaging questions and like a really fun, unique spin on things, like I would pay for that. But I gotta know what I'm getting into. Like I'm not just gonna blindly pay $40.
No, agreed. So it's all at-home dates, just to add that clarification. So it's never like go anywhere. Each month we send you everything you need for a fun, unique at-home date night. Each month is different and a surprise. One month maybe dance lessons, which it's like in a box. Like what? All it could be is like a code to download
it's
a
like
video,
go to this YouTube video. By the way, don't go to YouTube how to learn how to foxtrot because that's free.
Exactly. The next month may be a gourmet cooking class, which doesn't make sense because it's an at-home date, so it's got to be like a video, and you got to go get your own stuff.
And unless they're sending me,
they're not though, because I looked at those boxes. They clearly aren't shipping out food. Like they're not going to be. Sometimes we're Blue Apron, and sometimes we're this other.
Right. That just seems.
Well, the following month is an evening of art, cheese, and wine tasting, all within the comfort of your home. It's a great alternative to watching Netflix and allows you to do something fun together. I don't know. I don't know, happily. I'm not with you
Here's the thing. I don't think they need to be this coy about it. Like, there's enough date ideas that you could be like, for example, here's what one of the boxes looked like, and here's what the night looked like. They did this, and they did this, and then we threw in this thing here. And then top it off, the icing on the cake was this. It's like, well, that looks like a pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's not something that you would have thought to do or could necessarily have done without the aid of this.
I feel like you would also accrue just like a lot of stupid stuff. Because, I mean, these aren't repeatable, right? So you're going to end up with like all this, whatever's in the box, which we couldn't tell you. You're going to end up with just a ton of it. Like random pamphlets and brochures and games and just like useless stuff.
Yeah, I
not with it.
I could have been sold on this. This is for me. This is something that I would buy, but not in on it happily. All right, let's do one last one here, and we'll move to the big idea.
So Luminary, which is a podcast app. So we're talking about podcasts on a podcast. It's kind of
Inception,
a little bit of an inception, but essentially it's like $8 or $4 a month. For I think it's a 1-year minimum, but maybe not. And you get access to like this is like a premium podcast network.
Interesting. How do we get on this?
Exactly. It's like if we were on it, we'd probably be for it. I came to the podcast kind of to criticize, which is just like there are so like when I look at how many podcasts there are, there are so many good podcasts that I'm still trying to get to.
Totally.
In the normal free universe, to be like, oh, this is the $5 a month podcast network. It's like all this could possibly do is add 500 more podcasts that I need to get to. And I'm already 500 podcasts behind. So not for me.
What I would appreciate is if so something like this, like imagine you were able to take a little buy a little quiz or like the things I like, this is the whatever, and then you get matched with basically like kind of a podcast expert.
Yeah.
Somebody who's like knows.
I don't feel like I need that though.
No, but if they were to basically say like, I'm gonna curate 20 shows for you or 10 shows for you. And you're going to love them. I know based on what you've told me, you're going to love them. I like Stitch Fix or whatever, but for podcasts, because there is so many, I would maybe pay like a one time, like it wouldn't definitely be monthly. Yeah. Like I would pay $25 or
for your podcast recipe.
For somebody to fit me for some podcasts that I hadn't heard of.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Because are you not behind? Like, for me, it's like I have a bunch of podcasts that have been recommended to me that I want to listen to. I've got podcasts that were recommended to me 3 years late that I have 300 back episodes to go listen to. And then I have new content coming out every week. What could get me on a platform like this is, Serial. We all remember Serial.
Yeah.
Like podcast phenomenon that everybody was listening to and talking about. Is if there was a podcast that was on this app that was like hot, this is the podcast that everybody's listening to.
Yeah.
Or it's just like this on Luminary, there's this podcast that is like so next level and so good and so well reported. You got to listen to it. And then it's like, okay, I pay the trial fee. I get in and I start listening. Then I could see a world where I move to this.
Yeah, I think especially if there was some like, this is only available on Luminary. Like,
I assume that everything on here is only available on Luminary. Because why would I ever pay for this if I could just get it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to know how good this stuff was because I could also see me get on and be like, I don't like any of this.
Yeah.
And I'm paying for it. There's something there that hasn't quite. There's an angle because I think there is a problem in that there's your problem, which is like you're too far behind.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a problem that I have, which is that like every once in a while I'll stumble upon some good podcast, like Caliphate was a podcast I listened to, and I was like, oh, this is really good. Like I really enjoyed, and it was like 10 episodes, and it was like pretty simple. But like I didn't like it took like a really obscure way for someone to recommend this to me.
Yeah.
Had somebody known my listening profile and be like, oh, you would like
Yeah.
I would appreciate something like that, and maybe a service that like has
Yeah, and I really can kind of see that.
like a Disney Plus,
Yeah.
but some sort of like
What I would like though is like if there was a service like Luminary, where it's like a company that vets podcast quality. So
Exactly.
they're saying like, is this a good podcast? or a
that's
bad
what I'm
podcast?
saying. It's like it gets rid
Yeah.
of all the crap.
But then like, what if our podcast? Like, what if it was like, okay, to be listed on our site, or first you got to get approved, and then it's like $5 a month to the podcast owners.
Sure.
Based on how many listeners you have or something like that. And then you go to this site and it's only high quality podcasts. It's like the best of the best in different categories.
Yes. I'd be into
super
that.
interested in that.
Yeah.
And that's a revenue model that could work because there's plenty of people that are just like trying to get discovered.
Totally.
They have a good podcast. They've got good audio. They've got good content. They have a good format.
And so Luminary would say, hey, we've listened to your podcast. Like you'd submit an
Mm-hmm.
application and they'd say yes or no. If they say yes, great, you can pay $5 to be on the platform. Or if they
Yeah.
say, sorry, it's not up to our standards.
Come back.
Come back
Totally.
when
And that would be awesome because I talked about this a little bit on the podcast. Every time I talk about it with anybody, I like to clarify that I'm not a gambling addict, but I have been really enjoying a little gameplay lately. And so as part of that, it's like when I get into these like hobbies, which I often do, like, you know, I went through like a colored pencil phase and now I'm currently in kind of a little bit of a gambling phase. And I've been like, I just go through phases. Like I'm one of those people that's like, I have a new
When you say
hobby.
colored pencil, you mean like adult
Coloring books.
Coloring
I was
books.
super into, spent like hundreds of dollars. Not kidding. And this is like always the example we go back to.
That's good.
And it's like, I was really into racquetball for a little bit. And I got a really nice racquetball racket. Like I just go through
Yeah.
phases of really liking things. And when I do that, I want to listen to a podcast about those things. Right.
Sure.
But when you search Apple Podcasts for, you know, just a keyword like gambling, right? You get literally junk. Like it's just so hard to sort through all the crap.
I feel the same with fantasy football. Sometimes I'm just like, there's so much garbage when it comes to like, just it's either so commercialized. Like it's like CBS's fantasy. It's like, no, I don't really want that.
That sucks. Yeah.
You know, or it's like these two dudes drinking beers in their garage. It's like, well, I don't necessarily want that either. Like I want somebody who's like done a bunch of, and then I know they exist. Like
Exactly. Like our podcast.
our podcast, good, high quality, like content driven.
Updates regularly.
Yeah.
So you aren't hopping in and it's like, oh, this hasn't been updated in 6 months.
Totally.
And they only update every 2 months. I want something that's regular and good. And that would be another cool feature of premium platform. It's like you got to actually post.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, you have to have a regular cadence.
Yeah.
Or you kicked off.
You kicked off. That's a luminary, but better.
Better. I'm into it.
Cool.
All right, Andre, it is time
For the big
idea. I keep going back and forth on the name of this, and maybe you don't like either of them,
Sure.
but let me get you in the
Okay.
mental theater
We're
here.
being transported to a different world.
Are you familiar with Google opinion surveys?
Yes. They pay you, right?
They pay you to take surveys. They take a couple seconds.
Yep.
Nice little 10 cents, 50 cents, right? Keep a mental note of
Yeah.
surveys.
Google opinion surveys.
Okay. This is not survey software, but that mechanic of like doing something simple and easy for a small amount of money, people do it. There are lots of scenarios. There are three in particular that I think stand out, but there are many more than this. Home projects, gardening, kind of outdoor projects, and cooking,
Yeah.
where most people are not experts in it. And they don't necessarily need a consultant. They don't need to pay somebody to come out and like
Yeah.
to fix their problem or to give them advice. But they just wish they had a second opinion. They wish they could have somebody who kind of knew what they were talking about to be like, this is right, this is wrong, do this, don't do this, right? So this app is called Second Opinion or 2 Cents.
Yeah.
The idea is I am cooking and I need to know how to flavor this chicken in a particular way. I've never done it before, or I cut it a certain way, or I'm going to grill the steak. And I can't remember, do I use rosemary or marjoram for steak for the seasoning? For, you know, do I broil it for this time? You know, right? Like I can do some searches online, but I have to kind of sift through a bunch of stuff, look through Quoras, look through this and that, and like hope that somebody has the situation I'm looking for. Or I open up my second opinion app. I say, trying to cook steak, trying to season it well, and I hit send. And what that does is that it shoots out a ping request to anybody who has cooking or steak or anything as like kind of like a keyword tag for them, and they'll get hey, someone's looking for help. And I am the steak guy. I'm somebody who's cooked a lot of steaks. I give lots of advice. I hit sure. It live connects me like a Skype call, and I can really quickly be like, hey, been cooking steaks for 10 years. Actually, what you want to do is this. You want to salt it. You want to do this. And I say, perfect. Thank you so much. Done. Transaction's over. In fact, I could have several people. I could get several opinions if I wanted. It takes that person 5 seconds. It takes me 5 seconds, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I get exactly the help I need, not up sifting through message boards, right? I think this is really also applicable to home projects where it's like, I need a certain drill for this, or I think I'm worried that if I put this here, this joist, or if I screw this into the wall, it's going to come off, or I'm worried I have the wrong drill bit for this. Like if only I could just ask somebody really quickly, and they'd say, "Yep, you got the right thing," or "Nope, don't do that. Actually, that's a load bearing thing, and it could compromise. Actually, that's not the right paint for this. What you're going to want to do is get a second coat of this primer paint, right? Like the stuff that these questions, it's like this advice from people that were, the questions we ask Home Depot people, just like, hey, is this going to work? Like you trust them because they work at Home Depot, right? That you assume they have experience. There are tons of people. You have experienced lots of things. We all have experienced lots of things that we give advice on. This would be a way to instantly connect people to get a second opinion, to get 2 cents on something. Now, the model here, I think the best way to do it, and maybe you can workshop this a little bit. I think the best way to do it is basically I pay something like $5 a month or $10 a month.
Yeah.
And what that does is that turns into a kind of an online currency, tip points or whatever. And when I request a second opinion, I get a bunch of basically bids.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like a flat rate, and then like you basically have like a 10 cent to 30 cent amount that like you could earn on any given thing.
Yeah.
If I get your opinion on something, you give it to me, I say, great, base rate 10 cents. If after that call, I give you 5 stars, that's 20 cents.
Yeah.
If also within the app, there's kind of like an ongoing certification where you can kind of take questions and like become certified, that's 30 cents because you're level 1 certified or black certified or whatever. So there's a way for me to be like, yeah, I'm on my phone. I can just really quickly in 5 seconds answer all these people. I can get 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents at a time. In a day's time, I might make a couple bucks. I might make, $5-10 if people can tip me. There's a whole way here. I think that people would latch onto this idea of like, especially if it's not like I'm giving you 20 cents. It's like I'm giving you this like digital currency that like I don't really worry about. It's part of my $5 a month. Sometimes I use it a lot. Sometimes I don't ever use it.
What's your name?
2 cents or second opinion.
2 cents or second opinion. So good idea. Good idea. And I'll tell you my experience in this like same category.
Yeah.
So there's a website called justanswer.com, and it's like you ask questions and you connect. But generally it's like targeted for like ask a question to a lawyer or a veterinarian or a doctor.
Yeah.
Or a plumber.
I think
it's a little more high skill.
I think the teledoctor is a good indicator of moving to this direction.
Yeah,
like people
agreed.
wanted to be like, hey, should I go to the ER for this? And they're like, nope, you're fine. Like, just do this.
And that's how we've used Just Answer is we'll use it like when our cats are sick. It's
Right.
like, okay, we don't want to go into the vet after hours, like is $1 billion and it takes 5 hours.
Totally.
Where Just Answer, it's like you can post and you can just like, is this serious enough that we should go in? Or is this like something that will just resolve in an hour? And that's a really easy case. And Just Answer, if I recall correctly, is like you pay for the question. So it's like $10 a question or something like that. And then like unlimited back and forth and like all this stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So once you're in, you're in. The challenge with Just Answer is one that it's only for like what we're talking about, like professional service level type stuff.
Yeah.
When in reality, I have a lot of questions every day that do not need to be directed to a vet, right? It could be directed to just somebody who's knowledgeable, particularly around like cooking. I also think a lot about it when I'm like booking travel.
Totally.
And it's like, I wish I just knew like if this is a good price or a bad price, if this is a good place or a bad place.
Imagine somebody, you're like going to Hawaii and you're like looking for flights in August.
Yeah.
In Hawaii. Is it going to be too hot? Do I have to worry about weather?
Yeah.
And somebody in Hawaii chimes in, it's like, hey, I've lived here for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Every once in a while you have a bad thing, but like your odds are you're going to be fine.
Agreed.
And it's low season here, and like I would recommend staying here. And I'm like, thank you. Wow, that's great.
Totally. And I think like for me, it's all app. Like there's no web
All
situation
app.
at all. And it's just like I hop on and
It's
I
like
type my
TikTok,
question.
like in that the simplicity of it. It's just like I instantly connect with somebody. I say great, and then I Uber 5-star them, and I'm done.
Exactly. It's like the whole thing should be like 45 seconds.
Totally.
And you hop on and you type your question. Super simple UI. AI recognizes like what the matches are, because what's annoying to me is I just posted a job on Thumbtack. It's a good example. And it's like just to get it posted is like about 95 million questions.
And finding a thumbtack, also that whole process needs to be reworked. It is.
Agreed. Right. It's in our opinions, and I use Thumbtack a good amount. Sounds like you do too.
Yeah.
So it's like if I could just type a question, AI figures out like who are the best matches, right? It sees some keywords. It's like, all right, they said Hawaii. Let's connect them with our couple of best Hawaii folks that are available. And it's like on my phone, I just get like a push, and it's like somebody has this question. Are you interested? And you're just like, yep. Bam, 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 connect, agree.
If I'm busy, I don't take it. Somebody else will field it, right? Like it can stay for a while. Like you know, if no one ever answers, or if I'm the only one, or whatever. Like
for me, I think for the monetization model, I would probably be for it being per question. So it's like $1 a question. Or something like that.
I've kind of moved. I've kind of tried to figure.
But then it's like if you want unlimited questions, it's $15 a month, or $10 a month, or something.
Yeah, maybe that's
because you're like, yeah, I use this a lot. I really love using this.
Yeah.
But for me, like with Just Answer, if it was a subscription, I would be so annoyed because I use it 3 times a year.
Sure.
So I like it because I can just like hop on and just pay.
That's not a bad. Yeah. So maybe it's $1 a question.
Really quick, like Face ID, Apple Pay.
Totally
Goes right through. And then 10 seconds later, you're talking to someone.
Yeah.
The other annoying thing about Just Answer is you'll wait. Like if it's a weird time, if there's nobody online, then you're just like hanging, waiting for somebody to answer. And you're like, this is a waste because
totally
like I want an answer now. That's why I'm using this. Right?
Exactly. And I think that because there's a limited pool.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you asked, if you said my car's making a weird sound, I'd love if somebody could like just maybe have a good sense of if this sounds serious. There's going to be 1,000 people who are like gearhead motor guys who are like, oh yeah, I had that exact same car.
Exactly.
It's probably just your tuning belt's a little tight. You can do it yourself, or here's a video to do it, or you can take it and it'll cost you $50 to fix it. Like, oh man,
amazing,
so amazing. It would be such a delightful experience.
Agreed. I think the challenges are one is that it requires a network effect.
Totally. That's
right. We have to recognize that.
Easily the biggest, the hardest thing about it.
If there aren't people on there, then it sucks.
So I think that the way you curb that is you start in a couple key areas. Mm-hmm. So home projects, cooking.
Your launch is really, this is like a home projects questions app.
Exactly.
And then you're trying to grow stuff.
You move, and so you would proactively reach out to influencers and home project people and be like, hey, I need you in this app.
They're on there. Maybe it's just enough, and maybe you're like compensating them pretty fairly to be answering questions at this point.
Totally.
And then, you survey your users and you're like, what are your other areas of expertise? Right.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, it sounds like we have a bunch of home improvement guys already on the app. And we also have a bunch of car people because they have multi-skill, right? It's like, okay, the next area that we're going to start marketing into is car questions. Okay. Now we got car people and we got home improvement people. What are the survey again? What other skills do you have?
Right.
Okay. Now that's our third area. And that way we don't have to constantly be like servicing 100 billion areas.
Right.
And we're not always having to double our audience. Like, okay, we have home improvement and then we have cooking.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, now we got to get all these cooking people that aren't here already.
And I think you could have like a miscellaneous section that could organically grow where, like, I think if someone's like, hey, I'm thinking of starting a podcast, would love to know a good mic. And I would put on my profile of like proficiencies, I would say podcasting. And so like that would connect me and be like, hey, I have a podcast. This is what we use. Yeah. Here's an episode. If you want to listen to it, sound quality, here's the software you use. Good luck. And I think somebody would be like, oh, wow, that's super helpful. That's exactly what I needed, And then like, I think people would get into a tipping model. They'd be like, oh, they went above and beyond.
Sure. Yeah, especially because it's like a regular Joe.
Yeah.
And so you walk out and you're like, yeah, throw him $1 for sure.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. Kick them $1. They were super helpful.
And that encourages the other person to be like,
it's just like Uber,
hello,
right?
Can I answer? Yeah, like exactly. It's just like Uber. It's like people are working for tips a little.
They're putting. I saw a picture of some guy. He put a Smash Bros, like a Switch with a TV in the back of his car, just so people could play. And it's like, man, that guy. He's working for
Vegas the other week, and Uber is completely normal. It's like dark. It's like 10 o'clock at night. It's quiet Uber.
Yeah.
And I got stuck and I was like, hey, like, how's Uber? What are you up to? And he's like, yeah, I do this, but then I also run like the poor man's cash cab. And then he like hits a button and all of a sudden it's like lights and games.
No.
And like, yes, it wasn't cash cab, but he had fit his car. He had fit his car so that it could be cash cab.
That is so funny.
So it was so funny, but it was freaking terrifying. 'Cause it was a totally quiet conversation. And then all of a sudden I'm like in a like rave. It was freaking weird.
So funny.
And then he turns it off really quick, and I'm like, and then it's completely back to normal. Because in the dark, like I'm sure in the light, I could have seen like LED strips and all this stuff.
That seems
but in
like
the dark, I had no idea.
That seems like a funny bit on a TV show, like a funny joke on a TV show. Just like, oh, you've been an Uber driver long? Well, I actually do the poor man's cash cab. What the? Anyway, but that's something on the weekend. It's not for you, bub. It's like, oh,
it was funny.
Geez, that is funny. 2 Cents, second opinion, different name.
I like 2 Cents. I don't like second opinion because I think that kind of implies like I already have an opinion.
That's true.
Right. And I don't think it won't always be a second opinion. It'll often won't be. So I like 2 Cents because it emphasizes like the low cost of the transaction. Like this is not for 30-minute consultations. This is for quick questions.
Quick hop in, take a glance at what I'm doing. Like even just like, hey, am I doing this right? And someone's like, yeah, looks right to me. Just make sure you do this. You're looking good. That's a
exactly.
5-second interaction. Gives you all this peace of mind.
Everything I need. Mm-hmm.
2 Cents.
Love it.
Thieves.
It's a good idea.
Got the Andre stamp of approval here.
And we gave you some good ideas on like how to actually realistically start this.
Yeah. Let's wrap up the episode here. 2019.
What a year.
What a year.
Right?
I remember at the beginning of 2019 having a bet with somebody being like, do you think the president's going to get impeached? And I was like, I think he might make it to 2020 without it.
How you feeling?
He really snuck in impeachment, right?
Right in the 11th hour.
Right in the 11th hour. So I'm really annoyed by that.
Bummer. I think so. Like beginning of 2019, you had fewer children, right?
I had one less child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a child in 2019. One fewer podcasts.
I technically was in a different role.
Yeah. And that's also true.
Moved over in February.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, new podcast in 2019, obviously.
There's a couple of good things. That's all.
Several good things.
Yeah.
2019, I think,
was a good year.
Worldwide or domestically, I think people...
I didn't think it was the worst year.
Yeah, I think people have strong opinions about it. I think...
I kind of walked out saying, like, celebrity deaths this year, not a bad year.
Not a bad year.
For celebrities.
People are still alive.
Exactly.
Movies-wise, it's like the Marvels, that finished up.
It was a great year for movies.
Star Wars, I think, ended on a high note, personally.
I personally agree.
And, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, fun.
Yeah. Well,
Jojo
I
Rabbit.
hated that movie, but I thought that was the worst movie of the year.
Oh, really?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm a huge Tarantino fan. I thought that was a horrible movie.
I would say it's...
I'm also a huge Manson freak.
So
in a good way. I've read books and watched documentaries and stuff. So overall, I was hugely disappointed by that. But anyway, let's not get too caught up in...
So what we decided to do is we're going to spin. Normally we do a spin this idea where we come up with an idea on the spot, and we make it a great idea.
Yeah.
What we've decided to do here is take some of the notable events of 2019 and see if we could fix 2019.
Agreed.
So see if we can take. Is there a movie? Mm-hmm. Is there a thing that happened that we could have maybe?
Yeah.
Had me and Andre been there consultating them.
How could we have fixed it?
How could we either fix it or just
and not all these things are like crises, but I will say everything in here has something that was bad about it.
and we had they just consulted the brain trust of Still This Idea, probably would have been a better rollout.
Agreed.
What we got here?
Should we give it a spin?
Let's give it a spin.
Spinning. Scott doesn't know anything that's on his wheel. This is kind of an interesting one. I don't know how much you've been thinking about this, but I've been thinking about it a little bit, which is the college admissions scandal. So I noted this to Scott before I put this together, which is these are things that happened all year. So it's kind of fun because it's I haven't even thought about some of these issues since they happened, but they actually are issues.
Yeah.
The college admissions scandal, for those of you who don't remember, it was discovered that there are people in Hollywood that would pay exorbitant amounts of money to
Is this the lady from Full House?
Lori Loughlin.
Yeah.
And basically in the Full House situation, what she did is she paid a ton of money for her girls to go to a special SAT testing center and take a kind of a fake SAT and get really good SAT scores, and then paid the coach at UCLA to pretend that her daughters were on
Like
the
really good at soccer.
I think soccer would have been really obvious, but I think it was rowing.
Yeah.
I know for sure that it was rowing. And essentially it was just like it came out and it's like this whole thing about like
no, they're the coxswain on the rowing team.
but they weren't like literally like there are emails between her and her husband that are talking about like fudging the photos. Basically, like we got to go get her like in a freaking boat, right?
Jeez.
So I think like what's interesting about this is like what could be
It's like
done.
an episode of Suits. You watch Suits?
Yeah, no, I don't watch Suits, but I'm
Well,
sure
the
that
premise is like the guy.
I know it's around like crime.
Well, he has like a photographic memory, and he basically lies and said he went to Harvard to join this like lawyer firm.
Yeah.
And then like has to like sneak into Harvard and like put in fake transcripts so he doesn't get busted.
Ridiculous.
Anyway.
I will say, so I think where I land though is like what's surprising to me. So I worked at a testing center for a while. So I administrated
Proctoring tests.
Yeah. SATs and ACTs, but then I also, at the time, it was like a flight school. So we did schools because it was in a college.
Right.
So like we would service like random high school students and then like college exams and then like FAA exams because it was a flight school, which were like really serious.
You don't want to fudge those.
No, but what's interesting about the FAA exams is they were hard to fudge because they were on a computer. But basically everything else we did was paper, which was like quite easy to cheat on.
Had you been a little loose in your pockets there, Andre?
Honestly, could have made a lot of money because it's like in the business school, so there were like a lot of kids would have.
Sure. They're like, hey.
Anyway, I don't want to get into my
like, hey,
test
Andre, my
preference.
dad owns this company, and would love to get you a little stock package. If
And he'd love to see an A on this
Love to
economics
see an
exam. So I think like what's interesting to me is why are like the SAT and the ACT not on computers yet?
Yeah.
Like it just seems surprising to me that this is even possible, that it's not just like we have an electronic record of everything and then like an AI or machine learning algorithm that it's looking for abnormalities in like tests.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It does seem a lot of it goes down to school systems.
Yeah.
Even though they're private.
But yeah, the SAT and the ACT are private.
Yeah, like they are a derivative of a government body, Department of Education, and those bodies move slow and are behind. And
point.
like
You'd have to think though, like what if there was like an Elon Musk for standardized testing?
Oh man,
They could come in and just like, because
there are several things.
All
like,
you have to do is get universities to take the test, or to examine the test result. That's really the only requirement. Nothing else about the SAT and the ACT is legally mandated at all. So it's like if you come in and make the argument like we designed a better test. I had the same thought when I was working in test proctoring because basically like two companies run like all of the national certifications, like personal trainer and culinary and all this different stuff. And they're horrible. Like in my opinion, they're very bad. So it's like, why, this seems like a big space and these exams cost like hundreds of dollars.
Totally. Money to be made there.
Come in, make it better, pitch like it's a better value of education, like that you actually examine students more effectively.
Do you have thoughts on Malcolm Gladwell?
Yeah.
Good
I like
ones?
him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
He came for a sales kickoff event at a company I worked for, and he gave this like thing.
Yeah, that would be.
It was really cool.
That would be a big win. Yeah.
And he came and he talked about the schools in the Valley, BYU and University of Utah, and kind of like he highlighted BYU, especially their law school program. And he's like, he kind of pointed out how it's interesting how like if you rank BYU by these particular metrics, they're like 50th or 80th or something like that. But when you change a couple small variables that probably ought to be changed, they're like number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, and the reason that we grade on these metrics are like completely arbitrary. Like what gives a school its ranking is like totally made up. It's basically like your perceived perception in the markets around you and then their perceived perception in their own markets. Like that's all it is. So it's all this like fake stuff, but it's like, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Which,
anyway. And I would say I would be in a pre-Tesla world, I would be really persuaded by that, which is just like the world's the way it is and people can't change it.
Totally.
But I was thinking this, like driving around, seeing Teslas every single day. And it's like, I would have said that it was literally physically impossible for a new car company to come about. It's like, yeah, all the car companies we have now, those are all the car companies we'll ever have. And nobody can really break that. And Tesla's come in and it's like, now you can't go a mile without seeing a Tesla. And that's just crazy to me. And I look at all these endemic systems like standardized testing, it's like if there was like a crazy dude with a lot of money who's just like, I want to fix this, there clearly is a way to do it.
Totally.
Including standardized testing.
And I think it would actually be better. Like one of the things he brought up, and the reason I brought him up is he talked about standardized testing, and he says, for taking the LSAT, for example, there are kind of two key elements when it comes to test taking. It's like proficiency and speed. And he says that proficiency, like do you know it? Lots of people can get proficiency, but when you add this,
very small number are able to manage the speed element.
Yeah, and it changes. Like if you give everybody an extra hour to the LSAT, the average test score goes up, and it's like, well, why do we have this? Yeah. And it's like, well, it doesn't actually apply to there's all these things. If somebody came, this madman came in and was like, there's a better way to do it. We'll get better students in here. You're disqualifying.
Happens that I'm an alumni of Stanford,
right?
And I can convince, I'm a huge donor, and I can convince Stanford to start taking my test. And then all of a sudden, it's like, kids who want to go to Stanford got to take this test, and then all of a sudden, that's how like you get in schools. And I don't know, just saying. And if it's online, and it's like if we could fix the proctoring piece, and it wasn't like, oh, we got to have a dedicated day where there's 100 rooms in a building to administrate the ACT. It's like it's online, and you can take it, and all you need is a webcam, and then like.
I had to drive an hour and a half to go take my ACT.
I was lucky and was able to take mine to my school, but I know a lot of kids that
it was like in the middle of nowhere. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, it's a messy, messy system.
All right,
another.
Yeah, let's do.
Are you hoping for a really boring one?
Not necessarily.
Pokemon. So a couple of Pokemon things happened this year. So there was a new Pokemon movie, which a lot of people forgot, which is Detective Pikachu.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that came out this year. Pokemon Sword and Shield also came out this year.
Did you finish it?
We just finished it the other week. Fine. I will say so I'm like really into like speedruns of games, especially Pokemon, because I'm really interested in Pokemon speedruns specifically. So I looked up a Pokemon speedrun. It looks like the world record time right now is like 4 hours. And I think my playtime on that game is like 6 hours. So it's like the fact that I'm 2 hours over a speedrun time is actually quite bad, because basically I just stomped through the game. And I hate that about Pokemon. That's something I really, really wish they would improve, but they're not fixing that at all.
It's surprising they don't just put like a hard mode on it, like where it's like it just dials up the intensity of everything.
Which is confusing because I think it just needs to be like the Pokemon are slightly higher level than you.
That's it.
Because right now it's like if you grind, people who don't watch Pokemon are like, this is really boring. But Pokemon right now as a franchise is broken because the audience is older. They're in their 20s and 30s. They're still kids that play, obviously.
Right. Well, and that's why.
And the games are just as easy as they've ever been, and that makes them like really kind of annoying to play.
Well, and then that kind of Let's Go Pikachu was kind of like, hey, here's a bone for all the old time Pokemon guys. It's all your favorites.
And then that game was like,
it's also really easy.
It was stupidly easy because it took out for a whole different some reasons. So I really wish that Pikachu or Pokemon would just do something different.
It is like honestly, all they would have to do is just say, are you a beginner? Are you intermediate? Or do you want to do an expert mode? An expert mode is
shift levels up.
Yeah, and this is like everything's hard to catch. Everything is, you start at a lower level, you actually lose to your rival.
Yeah, because I didn't lose a single rival fight all game, which is not right. I think I lost like one gym battle.
Yeah, I almost lost one. I don't think I lost anything.
Exactly.
Anyway,
so did you see Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I thought it was a fine movie too. Actually,
the easiest fix there is I thought the main protagonist was like the most uninspiring nobody.
I didn't like the ending. I think the ending kind of killed the concept for me.
What's funny is that like what people want more so much, and this is like people bag on Star Wars a lot. They're like, oh, like this and that, and why would and like some of the consensus people get to is like, oh, well, like people they'll never be able to capture the original like they did, like the original whatever feeling.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, they recaptured it with The Mandalorian. They just did it right there.
Yeah.
Like that's all that people want is they want a world that feels like the original trilogy, and they did that in The Mandalorian. That's all anyone has ever been asking for in Star Wars. Like they didn't want the prequels, like they didn't want they just wanted The Mandalorian in a movie.
Totally.
And
I think like so like if we did Detective Pikachu,
I would have more of
the
first half of the movie, which is just like, Pokemon in the
oh my gosh,
world.
Pokemon in the real world.
Oh, that's funny. Like a squirrel's washing windows. Like
exactly
just 10 times the amount of that stuff. That's what people want. That stuff's interesting.
I think the movie does a good job of capturing that. I think the story's like a little but I think like it's a good franchise opportunity. I would not mind a couple more
Pokemon
in the real world kind of stories
We
at all.
keep Ryan Reynolds.
No, I would ditch what they have now and start something new. And maybe it's like they return to the original.
Would you like it?
Cartoon.
At one point, they were thinking about doing Danny DeVito as Pikachu.
Really?
Yeah.
No, definitely would have preferred Ryan Reynolds. I love Danny DeVito. But all right.
What's
Any
one
other
more?
thoughts on Pokemon? Let me roll again because I got college missions again. I don't think we could. Pokemon again.
No.
Yes. Can you believe it? I'm hitting like the same two sides of the wheel.
Randomizer.
Come on. Do you want to talk about the new Star Wars?
Sure.
Do you have thoughts on it?
I have lots of thoughts on it.
Yeah.
So I guess spoilers. If
Spoilers. We're about to talk about the new Star Wars, all the Star Wars movies, Mandalorian. We're going to talk about Star Wars, and if you haven't seen everything, you're going to be spoiled.
also, I know it shouldn't bug me, but I hate that spoilers is now just something that everyone has to say. Like, it feels like we didn't say it forever, and now it's like spoilers. Like, you have to say it.
Well, we're consuming more content.
I know. It's just like it shouldn't bug
You
me.
never
but it
know.
does. Yeah.
But in the past, it was like if you were walking into a Star Wars conversation, you knew that was going to happen. But now it's like you're reading articles, you're listening to. It's just different.
So here's my thought on it. The original trilogy, very good. Especially the first two, like everyone agrees, they're great. And the third one was like maybe a little bit of a cash grab, maybe less focused, but like great. And then 30 years goes by, and George Lucas tries again, and they try a totally different direction on it. Mm-hmm. Lots of things to appreciate about the prequels, but it like introduces a whole new subset of things. Yeah. Jedi powers. It really leans into the Jedi and the Sith as like these things, as like concepts. If you think about the original trilogy, it's like they're like the amount of force that's used is like none.
Yeah.
It's like barely grabbing a lightsaber, and like a couple mind tricks. It's like not a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas in the first one, it's like they're doing flips over things, and they're like speed running, and they're all sorts of things. So the new trilogy comes, and people are like pretty jaded on it. They're like love it or hate it, right? I'm of the opinion that the newest trilogy is the only way they could have captured the heart of the prequels and the original trilogies. I'm of that opinion. I think it was a mistake not to have the same director throughout all three. But also that was kind of not like J.J. Abrams was like, I don't want to take this on, which I don't blame him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm only doing one.
I don't want to be murdered in the streets.
Exactly. He did one, and it was a success. He's like, good. I've done my part.
Great. I'm getting out of this while I'm still ahead.
And Disney took a gambit on Rian Johnson. I don't think it panned out the way they wanted it to. He took some creative liberties, and good.
A lot of people don't like that movie.
Good for him for trying, but like it kind of didn't work the way they wanted it to. And then they had to play catch up and say, okay, how do we fix this? And so they paid J.J. Abrams an inordinate amount of money to come back, literally paying out.
Please make our movie.
Literally paying out the contract of the movie he was going to work on, and then also paying him. It's like crazy how much they paid him to finish this.
But it worked.
It totally worked. To me, I think it's. I on a second viewing, I think I like it more than The Force Awakens.
See, and my perspective is I think I'm a Neanderthal because I watch any Star Wars movie and I'm like, amazing. Like I think like I must be the Star Wars fan that everybody hates because honestly, I was watching the prequels the other day and I don't mind those.
I don't
movies.
mind them.
Like I really don't think they're the worst movies in the world. I think that there definitely are parts where you're like, this is horrible. And they're funny. And those moments are funny. And it's kind of just like Star Wars is like one of those series where it has its good and bad moments.
Well, the prequels, so the original trilogies are like, they're kind of fun action. They're very Indiana Jonesy, kind of the era.
Oh,
of like
definitely.
Adventure, that's cowboys in space, right? Mm-hmm. The prequels are hammy kids movies.
Different.
That like at one point get kind of dark, but for the most part, they're like colorful and they have
that whole killing the younglings thing. That was a little departure.
That's a little departure. But honestly, outside of that, like I tried to watch.
Jar Jar Binks is funny and goofy and
silly, like making poop jokes and fart jokes, like silly.
Yeah.
I tried to watch some of the new trilogy with my 2-year-old, and it's like it's slow. The first 20 minutes of A New Hope, it's like two droids walking around the desert. Like it's slow.
He's like, Dad, this is boring.
This is boring. I turn on the prequels, and it's like, woo, yeah.
Yeah, there's like ships and
there's star battles. It's like if you're a kid, you're like drawn into it. And these huge, long, epic battles. Like there's things to like about it.
I agree.
But the dialogue is bad. Storytelling is bad. There's like a lot of really dumb From like a
No.
movie standpoint, it's like
Definitively.
these make no sense.
Watching any scene of extended dialogue, it makes you want to claw your own eyes.
but I think
I don't hate that. I still am just like, these movies are fun.
well, and I come back to like you get what you get. Like Marvel, what they did is they figured out a formula that worked. And a lot of people like Martin Scorsese are like, that's not real cinema. Stop stonewalling what art is and isn't. All right, like if a splatter on the wall can be fine art, that's what it is. It's fine art. A Marvel movie is a Marvel movie, and a Star Wars movie is a Star Wars movie. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like you know exactly. It's not trying to be The Irishman. It's a fun piece of pop culture.
No,
like
I agree.
And Star Wars is the biggest property in the world. Like there's not a bigger brand than Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a cultural touchstone. And like so people to be like so frothy, angry about it, it's like just enjoy
They're movies. They're popcorn movies.
Their popcorn movies are fun. They're meant to be like, some of it doesn't make sense, but like who cares?
Who cares? Exactly. So my boyfriend walks out of the most recent Star Wars, and he's like, he hated it, and his reasoning is like so painfully bad, and like to the point where we're
Because people get caught up on like, well, how did
exactly
Palpatine come back?
He's like, I know. He's like that. So Ray in this most recent movie like heals.
It's like how did they get out of the trash compactor? Like you could do that for everything.
It's just like he wants like a backstory for everything. Like he wants Palpatine had kids. Who are the kids? And it's like there's no backstory. He's like Anakin. How was Anakin born from the Force? And it's like well, just like kind of infer some details there.
Right.
And it's like he needs to see a flashback scene that like explains how he got here.
Yeah.
And same with like Force healing. Is he's just like this is a joke. This doesn't exist.
What people forget.
Anytime C-3PO is talking, he's like, ugh. It's just
what people forget is that in the original trilogy, which are the best, the Emperor not in the first movie, barely in the second movie, and barely in the third movie, and he's this like dominant force.
Yeah.
Darth Vader, barely in the first movie. He's barely the antagonist of the first movie.
Exactly.
Right, and like he gets more developed as the antagonist in the second movie, but like. We have this like rose colored like but like they did characters so well back then. It's like no, especially
actually they did character basically the same in every trilogy.
And,
right? Actually, Palpatine as the antagonist may have been like the most interesting arc in the prequels.
Exactly. I'm kind of the camp of like this actually
is very on brand.
It's super on brand and it ties together. Like if you look at the amount of screen time Palpatine has in the prequels, it's like 30%.
Yeah.
They spend so much time on the second most important villain in the series.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like it's crazy to me how much time they spend on Palpatine, and to say like actually he was pulling the strings. I'm like that actually works.
Yeah, I like that. I'm into that versus like
it's some other guy.
Exactly.
It's Darth. Whatever. It's like no, just give it.
They don't kill Snoke at the end of the second movie, and then Snoke is the ultimate villain. It's like that makes no sense.
Well, that to me it feels like Snoke was just another emperor, but like to me, what's more interesting is like no, the emperor has been
never died.
Evil for all this time, and it's
always him.
It's always him. He is the representation of evil.
Yeah,
it's hard to and the good guys have to fight up and stand against evil. It's a good movie.
Star Wars people, man,
it's the day in the world we live in. People have to get upset about things. Thieves, that's gonna wrap it up. This is a long episode, but the episode
wasn't long.
I mean, we just crossed the hour threshold. So.
Oh wow, that's like a record breaker, maybe.
But it is. But it's a nice. It's the 2019 episode.
No, I don't. I just love rapping with my friend.
Yeah, this is nice. You're gonna finish out the holiday. A lot of you maybe are on break still. Mm-hmm. You need a nice something to just veg out to. Yep. Still this idea. Maybe you got a backlog. Maybe you got a long commute. This is gonna be the perfect episode for you. Hit us with the socials, Andre, and then we'll send them off.
Send us an email. idea@gostealthisidea.com. We'd love to send you a sticker in exchange for your good ideas and thoughts.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter @GoStealThisIdea. Support us on Patreon. Steal This Idea.
Shout out to Ellis, the new Patreon supporter.
Love it. We love a Patreon supporter.
We will literally do anything you want.
Anything.
If you donate on Patreon.
Within reason.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, right?
Yes, person Patreon. I think that is it.
Twitter, Instagram, all those handles. Send us an email.
Oh, give us a review. And
5 stars.
Organically share us in your network. That's literally the best thing you can do. Is just be like, this is a dope podcast.
Exactly.
Because that's how we grow.
And we are dope.
And
that also would just be a true statement to make.
Yes. Also, you're speaking your truth. Yeah. Thieves, we love you. We appreciate you. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Use Scipio, the #1 engagement tool for sales teams that want more responses, appointments, and conversations. Message your leads and customers where they are, on their phone. I'm not talking about phone calls. We're talking about true one-to-one texting. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. See you later, thieves.